Good evening and welcome to Midnight Movie Club. In tonight's video I review the latest Stephen King adaptation and the first of 3 this year, Pet Sematary. Pet Sematary was directed by Kevin Klosch and Dennis Weiderman, who also brought us 2014's Starry Eyes. The film stars Jason Clarke, Amy Seimetz, John Lithgow, Jetty Lawrence and Lucas Lavoie. So the film follows Dr. Louis Creed, his wife Rachel and his children Ellie and Gage as they relocate from Boston to rural Maine. Soon they discover a mysterious burial ground deep in the woods that surround their new home, and as they try to adjust to their new surroundings, weird things begin to happen, and they don't settle as much as they would have liked to. A tragic accident drives Louis to commit a heinous act that has otherworldly consequences. Now, Pet Sematary has been around since 1983 with the release of the novel, but I'll still not go into any spoilers or anything like that, as I like to keep my reviews spoiler free. I will just say that there are differences from the book and the previous film, and if you are planning on seeing this film, then please, I beg you, do not watch any trailers as they are spoiler heavy. So apart from a couple changes, the story plays out how you would expect it to, with the same event of the book and the previous film unfolding, just brought in modern day with some of those slight changes I mentioned. For me, I found the setup and the pacing to be a little slow in this regard, as with it being a story a lot of people are familiar with, they really did drag out the explanation and the rules of what was going on and what was going to happen. Personally, I feel they could have gotten into the thick of things a little quicker than they did, but for people experiencing the story for the first time, maybe it's perfect. For me though, the setup is just very exposition heavy and really took its time making sure we knew all the rules and regulations of the Pet Sematary. Now, I would just like to touch on the themes and tones of the movie a little before we move on to the performances. I really enjoyed the dualism between Louis and Rachel, as Louis, being a doctor, has a very cynical scientific mind, not believing in life after death or heaven, while Rachel, her character, firmly believes there is something and coddles their children with the thoughts that everyone and everything goes to heaven. Rachel's beliefs are a result of a traumatic event that took place in her childhood, and I really found her character to be the most interesting, and I wish the story included her a little more, digging into her as a character. Really the main focus is on Louis and seeing this doctor who blows off the supernatural to be confronted with it and ending up looking to it for help. For me, this is what the film done best, these two characters facing things that went against their beliefs or dragged up their past trauma. Now, as far as performances go, Jason Clarke does a great job as Dr. Louis Creed. I am not the biggest fan of Jason Clarke, I'll say that now, but I feel in this role he was pretty much perfect. He brought great depth and emotion to the character, and I bought his descent into the madness of this event. As far as it goes for Amy Seimetz, she was fantastic as Rachel Creed. I really enjoyed her performance as she became more and more paranoid of the events surrounding the family and just how distraught she was having to face death again, which was such a taboo subject for her. As for the kids' performances, they were fine also. I thought they'd done a good job as well, to be honest. The only thing was that one of them has a certain evil voice at some point in the film, and I felt that voice could have used work, but apart from that, they were pretty damn good. Then of course we have John Lithgow as Judd, and as to be expected, he puts in a very good performance. I enjoyed him in every scene he was in pretty much. Although even though for these solid performances, I just felt that they were very wasted on these characters who never really got going, as the better themes in the movie that I touched on earlier were never expanded upon. Also, sadly, Lithgow's Judd is reduced to pretty much being an exposition machine, and I just didn't buy the instant friendship between him and Louis. Their relationship should be a nice warmth in a rather cold and bleak story, but instead it was just used for exposition, and that was annoying to see. As far as it goes for Pet Sematary's cinematography and lighting, it looks great. There are some fantastic visuals to be seen here. We get some real nice drone shots, and during the moments of heightened tension, the lighting is perfect to subtly obscure certain things in the frame. Along with this, I felt the film was very well edited, with certain scenes transitioning into others seamlessly. For example, one scene used both a colour and a sound to transition perfectly into the next, and I loved it. I just wish for more of that throughout the whole film. It created an almost dreamlike feel in those scenes and was great for conveying the thoughts and madness of the character in them. But by far my favourite parts of the film for me were the sound design and the practical effects. The fantastic practical effects coupled with the great punching sound design let you feel what you were seeing on screen and were enough to make you squirm. Sadly though, for those sections of praise I give to Pet Sematary, they are let down by the bland script and soulless narrative. For me, the story just felt flat and didn't go far enough. Along with this, it just was not scary. Not once throughout the film were I or the people I was with feeling the need to hide behind our popcorn or watch through our fingers. I really do feel like the filmmakers here got caught up in creating the atmosphere of Pet Sematary and forgot about also creating a great plot and expanding on its themes. Sadly, even though it creates a nice atmosphere and looks and sounds great, in the end Pet Sematary becomes a bog standard jump scare filled modern horror that just isn't scary and won't stay with you one bit. So in the end, I'm going to have to give Pet Sematary a 2.5 out of 5 rating, as for me, even though it does some things really well, I found it to be bang on average. Now, some might find that to be a harsh review, but it's my honest review of a film I was really looking forward to. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought of Pet Sematary. Were you a fan, or were you like myself and felt that it fell a little flat? Fingers crossed the mediocre horror movies of 2019 don't continue. I really want something to blow us out of the water sometime soon. Either way, if you enjoyed this video, give it a like, and if you haven't already, then subscribe to join the club. As always, thank you very much for watching, and good night.